What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and I have to admit something, I have failed. It's actually not hard for me to admit this because I'm not exactly one of those super talented people that always gets things right on the first time. Most times it takes me a few tries to get things right. So what have I failed at this time? Well, I have failed at my 90-day cashback experiment. When I first mentioned this, one commenter suggested this would last 30 days, and well, dude, you were right. I've been doing this experiment for around 30 days, and I can honestly say I'm done. I'm just not built for team cashback right now. As a parent, I struggle with quitting. We teach our kids to commit and never quit, but some experts suggest that this could lead to people staying at jobs they hate and staying in awful relationships and so on. Well, come on. I don't want to stay in a toxic situation, do I? Well, either way, I'm ending the cashback experiment early. It's just not for me right now. So why did this experiment fail? The logic was sound. I thought I was entering a season in life where travel would be less frequent, and it was time for me to purchase another investment property or to maybe invest back into this YouTube channel. I mean, running a YouTube channel and traveling once a month, in addition to being a dad and trying to be at least a marginal husband, leaves little time for anything else. Traveling less and earning more seem to be the answer, right? Also, even if I were to continue to travel, cash back can buy flights and hotels. So what's the difference? To top it all off, even with the complicated system and seemingly less personal benefit, my player 2 was compliant. My wife was using all the correct cards almost all the time. So why didn't this work? Well, for one thing, the motivation just wasn't right. I still haven't mastered my relationship with money, and even at this point in my life, money itself just does not excite me. It really never has. My life has been so much more about experiences than dollar bills. You can debate all day long about that, but let's move on. The next reason why this experiment failed was the time spent dealing with regional banks and credit unions. This was an almost comical experience. One credit union changed their card as I was approved for it, making it not even worth a new account. A credit union in Kentucky has a great 5% cashback gas card, but was so time consuming to deal with. Everything is done over the phone, and one time they wanted me to verify my ID by reciting my mother's birthday, which I don't know. And they wanted to know my astrological sign. What the heck, man? I had to ask my wife what my sign was. I know these are minor inconveniences, but you won't have to deal with this with American Express. At the end of the day, the carrot for team cashback just wasn't big enough for me. I prefer the travel game and all the work that goes into the redemptions. So what's the plan moving forward? Well, I know this YouTuber named Stan the Credit Frog, and he suggested a few times a hybrid approach. See, Stan not only has a great YouTube channel, but he's also a smart and successful professional. So he speaks wisdom. I'll explain. I first and foremost want to earn transferable currencies like American Express MR points, Chase UR points, Citi Thank You points, and Capital One miles. See, I enjoy traveling for a number of reasons. I've spoke on using travel to help rear my son Charles and to give him a world perspective. It's also how I show appreciation to my wife and family. I gift them travel to enrich their lives. And I would just be full of it if I didn't mention that I kinda like to pretend I'm James Bond, traveling the world on big shot missions full of luxury and adventure. Also, at this point in my journey, I have a great points and miles setup and a great cashback setup. So in the future, I think a sustainable strategy for me is this hybrid setup, in addition to at least 6 months of gardening. If you follow the channel, you know I've acquired quite a few cards in the last year, so I need a setup that will keep me satisfied for a while. This strategy will earn 3 to 5 travel points per dollar spent, and when I cannot get that return, I use a 5% cashback card to keep the value high. So above all, I'll be striving for diversity. It's going to look something like this. For dining, I'm going back to the gold standard. That's right. We're going to get everything we can out of this Amex Gold card for 4 times MR points, since they make me use those stupid credits. I really don't have a cashback card for dining that I can sub in when I need to, so I just won't worry about it. The backup for this will likely be a 3 times Chase card, or in some situations, the City Custom Cash. Guys, if you want more information on any of these cards I'm talking about, or any card for that matter, check out my super organized card link in the description below. Using my link really supports the channel, but it also allows me to do mostly unsponsored content because I know that's what you guys prefer. If you have used my link in the past, I sincerely thank you. For my largest reoccurring expense, groceries, this should be obvious. The 4x gold card again. I'm a huge fan of Amex MR points, so I really want to stack those. For times when I need to be just a little more cashback focused, I'll sub in the AAA Visa for 5% cashback at the grocery store. It's a great alternative since it has such a high cap at $10,000 per calendar year. For gas, I'm going to use the City Custom Cash because I really like having that constant flow of 5x thank you points coming in. And it will be backed up by the Abound Credit Union Visa, which gets 5% cash back with gas. For home utilities, I'll probably always use the US Bank Cash Plus card. Auto pay the bills, auto pay off the card. It's an easy way to earn 5% cash back. And I'll also use the Cash Plus at department stores like Kohl's. I don't personally shop at these places, but it comes in handy for stuff like school clothes, I think. I don't know. For entertainment like Bengals season tickets and recreation like sporting goods stores, I'm going to use a Max Cash Rewards, which is basically a US Bank Cash Plus clone that I got from a local regional bank here in Central Ohio. Entertainment is a tricky one for me because I do spend on it, so I do want to get a good return. My season tickets with parking are $2,400 for next year, so that can get me $120 cash back. Enough for a hot dog and a soda at one game. Aside from home utilities, I have cable and internet bills, and for that I'll be using the Chase Ink Cash card. The Ink Cash really is one of my favorite cards, and one reason is that it earns 5x UR points, which can be cashed out or banked for transfer partners. The Ink Cash will also be used at office supply stores, which should come in very handy for things like insurance bills and property taxes. Almost all of us shop at the evil empire, Amazon, so I will use my Chase Amazon Prime card, especially during the holidays. It's always nice to have that 5% cash back coming in for basic shopping. For me, that's a lot of protein shakes, air filters, and so many other random things. For cell phone service, I have a few great choices of cards that do provide cell phone protection. I think when the dust clears, the winner will be the Chase Ink Preferred. It earns 3x UR points on something that I have to pay every month, and it has cell phone protection. As far as the rotating cards, I have the Discover It, and it is actually in its first year of double cash back. That card I will try to use to max out the quarterly categories until that cash match is over. When it was gas stations, I purchased gift cards to reach the maximum, and this quarter at Amazon, it will likely get the first $1,500 spend there. After the first year, that card will be used when it's optimal, and after April, when I have to decide whether to product change my Chase Sapphire Preferred to an OG Freedom or a CSR. So if it is the OG Freedom, then I'll try to fit those rotating categories into the mix as well. Now for my Catchall card, I'm going to steer clear of any flat rate 2% cashback card, and I think I'm going to really kick it in with the Capital One Venture X. I don't know how long this card is going to be in my setup, so I'm going to use it now. I also need to stack those Capital One miles. Another category of note is I may want to go to a new gym in January. New year, new me, right? If that happens, I will likely use the Abound Credit Union Visa for 5% cash back on that. That card, in addition to 5% back on gas, has rotating categories as well. In addition to identifying my new setup, I'm going to be using a new strategy during international travel. I'm going to be simplifying everything with one card to spend on and maybe one hotel card if applicable. When in Prague, I'm going to be using the City Premier card. No foreign transaction fees, it's a MasterCard, and it has a dining category, so it's just simple. Plus, I really like thank you points. For my family Mexico trip, it's going to be even more simple. I'm going to be using the Hyatt business card. I'm staying at a Hyatt, and I don't even plan on leaving that resort. This is a super chill trip, and for some strange reason, I have like negative $400 balance on that card right now. So I'll keep it simple. And for my father-son trip in January, I will be getting back to cashback just a little, and I'll use the Navy Federal Credit Union flagship card. I need to earn at least 50 bucks of cash back in order just to redeem it, which is kind of annoying, but that trip should get me there, and then I can think about retiring that card. So any new cards in my future, I have a great personal travel setup and what I think is a really great cashback setup. So no bonuses or new cards for me for the next 6 months. I'm nearing the part of my journey where I have all the cards I want and I've canceled all the cards I don't want. So I'm hoping to take a break from new cards unless a new business card hits my radar. Guys, remember, if you want more information on any of these cards, check out my card link in the description below. And also, I want to remind you that the holidays are quickly approaching, so you should be using an online retail shopping portal for your holiday shopping. I suggest Rakuten. With Rakuten, you can get a really good cashback rate, but you can also opt to earn American Express MR points in lieu of cashback, making them much more valuable to me. Use my link in the description below and you can get $30 cash back or 3,000 MR points back on your first purchase. Do it. It's free money. Guys, that is it for me. I just wanted to send the update out there and notify my brothers on Team Travel that I'm back. And if you have stayed around all the way to the end, I thank you and I appreciate every single one of you.